What's going on, everybody? Yes, I'm obviously driving because this is the only way for me to squeeze in this time frame in order to get this video out for you guys. But I just got out of Marriage Story, which is written and directed by Noam Baumbachs. I think that's how you pronounce his name. And it stars Adam Driver, Scarlett Johansson, Laura Dern actually, and Ray Liotta, who is obviously best known for his Honey from B-Movie. Just kidding. That was lame. But obviously Ray Liotta from Goodfellas and other great films. But yeah, so Marriage Story is a film that every critic that I've talked to, everybody who's seen it, absolutely loves this film. It's definitely in talks for the Oscars for a lot of different categories: Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Director, Best Screenplay, all that stuff. And I got a chance to see it in theaters. It's going to hit Netflix on December 6th, I believe. Not entirely sure, but I think that's the date for it. But I was lucky enough to actually go to my art theater in downtown and check it out. So coming out of it, guys, I thought it was a pretty awesome film. This has a lot to offer. Obviously, the performances in this are absolutely astonishing. You don't really expect anything weak coming from Driver or Scarlett Johansson. Those two actors are just absolutely phenomenal. And they really bring it in this film. They absolutely brought it. And I think that they should both be in talks for at least getting nominated for Best Performances for sure. They both really brought the house down. They especially with a few scenes. There's a few scenes in this film that were just incredible. There's one scene in the first act with Scarlett Johansson where it's basically just one long take as he's trying to explain, how this whole thing started. And it's really impressive because the scene, take just goes on for so long without cutting. And she has to deliver this really big monologue type moment. And, it's an emotional roller coaster throughout that scene. And she really brought it home. And she was great. And also Adam Driver. There's definitely a scene in the third act of this film where honestly both actors did an awesome job, but Adam Driver really had to convey some really stressful emotion, and it just worked so well. It was really convincing. And yeah, so that being said, I can't praise these actors enough. They both were incredible in this film. And the next thing that's really great about this film is the screenplay. The screenplay for this, to me, is what makes this film, because to be quite honest, there's nothing really that special about the aesthetic of this film. I mean, it's competently made, and there's definitely intention behind the camera angles and stuff like that. But it's not really that's not why this film really stood out to me at all. It's really because of just how well written the screenplay is, in terms of dialogue, in terms of character theme, in terms of narrative structure. Yeah, this film's screenplay is incredibly solid, and if this film gets nominated for anything, it should be getting nominated for Best Screenplay. If it doesn't get for Best Actor, Best Actress, sure, I'll be upset. But I'm going to be really upset if this doesn't get nominated for Best Screenplay, because I just thought the writing for this was absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, so writing is just really, really good. I really, really enjoyed it. As I said, the aesthetic value here, it's fine, but it's not really anything spectacular. But obviously that's not really what this film was really trying to go for. This film is just trying to grip you from just how well written it is, and it really exceeds on that aspect. This film, it's really about the horrors of divorcing and through the court system. It's more about the court justice system aspect of divorce, and how separation and marriage can be so needlessly complex and stressful for both parties, and for the kid involved as well if you have kids. And this film really dives into that aspect, and it really makes you think whether or not getting married and having a binding contract is really all what it's cracked up to be, because it just seems to really complicate things, and it really just make things a lot more stressful than it really needs to be. Because you can love somebody and not really agree to the whole marriage thing and still live a wonderful life, but people are so pressured to get married and to be a part of that system. And, you know, when you're watching the film, you're just like, damn, like, you know, maybe if they didn't get legally married and just try to live happily ever after, you know, with themselves, then maybe this wouldn't have been so damn complicated. But since, you know, the way the court system is and the way marriage is, you know, not against anybody who gets married. Obviously, that's like the vast majority of the population. You know, I'll probably get married one day. But, you know, it just sucks to see, like, natural consequences come from what the legal system can bestow on people and the kind of havoc it can wreak in terms of, like, again, putting a lot of stress on both parties and the child. And, again, just makes things a lot more difficult than what it really needs to be. And, yeah, again, like, this is just a really, really... I think what I really loved most about this film is just how real and grounded it felt, because none of this felt like it was, you know, artificial. None of this felt really cinematic. It just all felt really down to earth and real. And I think that's what this film's strong suit is. And it gets really emotional too, guys. I didn't cry during this movie or anything, but, you know, it definitely... I can see why people would. It does come close at pulling some tears in certain moments, because you're just like, damn, just so emotionally devastating and heavy at certain moments. And again, that's thanks to the writing and the acting here, because those two things is where the film really exceeds. And I can see why people are really loving this film. I can really see it. It's really, really strong film, and I hope it gets all the praise it deserves. And I guess we're just gonna see what happens, you know, come Oscar season. I don't know how many awards that this is gonna be nominated for or anything, but that being said, I'm gonna come out with the Oscar nominations prediction video. I'm not gonna predict every category, but I'll probably just do the central ones, like Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Director, and probably Best Screenplay, maybe Best Cinematography. But I'm going to come out with a video just trying to predict who the Oscars will nominate, and then I'll make a video actually predicting who I think are going to win. But yeah, guys, I thought this was a pretty great film, and I definitely highly recommend this to people who just want to see a good film. This is a film that, you know, pretty much anybody that's slightly mature can watch and really appreciate. You know, you don't have to be, you know, you don't have to be in a relationship to really understand this film, but it does give you great insight and of the reality of what can happen, you know, when things in a legal marriage just turn south. And yeah, I really, really enjoyed this film a lot, and I'm gonna give this one an 8.5 out of 10. And for those who don't know, I gave the same grade to Knives Out. I also gave that an 8.5 out of 10. Completely different movie, but I think both films did great in what they wanted to do. And yeah, I definitely recommend these films, guys. And if you haven't seen my Knives Out review, go ahead and do that. And I definitely need to watch more films from Noam Baumbachs. Shout out to one of my subscribers named Hamed Munacheri. I think that's how you pronounce it, something like that. He's one of my subscribers from Iran. He's been a long devoted subscriber of mine. And he's always been telling me about this director, and I just haven't got the chance to really check out his stuff. But, you know, obviously after seeing this film, he's a film director and screenwriter that I definitely want to look into, because this was a great film, and I want to see what else he's done, obviously. So, yeah, I guess that's all I got to say about it, guys. If you really enjoyed what I had to say about Marriage Story, please give this video a thumbs up and share it amongst your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to be updated on more film-related content.